What's going on, guys? So this morning we have a new reveal that I'm actually pretty excited about. I've seen some leaked minifigures for this, and we're finally getting official reveals for the sets now. These are going to be the brand new Batman sets that are going to be due out August 1st of 2019. So without further ado, let's jump into it. So starting with the smallest set, we're going to be looking at set 76137, Batman vs. the Riddler Robbery. Now this is going to be one of those 4 and up sets, the new branding for the juniors type sets, and we're going to be getting a brand new Riddler minifigure in this, along with a little ATM, a go-kart-esque Batmobile, and a little purple skateboard for the Riddler. Nothing too special going on with this set, but for 59 pieces, it's going to be clocking in at $10, which is pretty fair for a juniors-esque set. You're going to be getting all prints, obviously, and 2 pretty decent minifigures. Nothing too special going on there with the Batman. He doesn't have the belt piece that we saw from the Lego Batman movie, but rather it is printed on. Probably so it can fit inside that small little go-kart build. But overall, I think this set's pretty solid. Not a bad deal if you want that new Riddler minifigure. So up next, we've got another one of those 4+ juniors-like sets. This is going to be set 76138, Batman and the Joker Escape. Now this is going to be using a large piece to represent Arkham Asylum in a nice sand green color there. Obviously completely printed. I think we saw that exact same piece in a Jurassic World Juniors set a couple months ago. Obviously printed to look like the Jurassic Park gate. This time we're getting a little more detail on it, and it says Arkham Asylum right there. You're getting a little spider piece, lots of fun little stuff with this, bombs, accessories, a little guard tower up at the top. You're going to be getting 4 minifigures, Harley Quinn, Joker, a prison guard, and Batman. It is worth mentioning that the Harley Quinn face print, I believe, is new, because it's not quite the Suicide Squad face print that we got in the Apocalypseburg set, but it's similar and a little more cartoony, I would say. And she's got that pink and blue hair that we saw popularized by the Suicide Squad movie a couple years back. But the Arkham Asylum build itself is nothing too special. We don't have pictures of the back, but I'm assuming this is pretty much just a flat build. The guard tower is really nothing special. It's a piece of glass on top of a castle piece. But that is these are the junior sets. Like, you can't expect a ton of detail out of these. The Batman helicopter actually doesn't look half bad. You guys know how I feel about helicopters in Lego sets, but the Batcopter doesn't look half bad there. There's a lot of like playability with this set, and I think this is going to sell incredibly well with the younger demographic. Now this set, like I said, is 171 pieces, and it's going to be clocking in at $40. That is a little steep, but like I said, you're getting lots of prints, lots of figures. It's not a terrible deal, but you could probably catch this one on clearance later in its life cycle. Up next on the list, we're finally getting our first system set. This is going to be set 76118, Mr. Freeze Bat Cycle Battle. You're going to be getting a brand new Mr. Freeze minifigure in this. The Batman minifigure looks like we have seen it before, and the Robin figure, as far as I can tell, is completely new. It's even got a new cape piece on the back. Robin has the short legs. I was kind of expecting him to maybe have the mid-sized legs, and seeing those more prevalent and more system sets outside of maybe just the Harry Potter CMF line. We'll have to wait and see on that a little bit. The Bat Cycle itself, I can't say I'm a huge fan of it because it looks bulky, but it's definitely unique. I'll give it that. And it can fit 2 minifigures. Mr. Freeze's vehicle is probably less than 20 pieces, but it does look decent, and it is a like, it almost looks like a little snowmobile. I think the real winner of this set is the Mr. Freeze minifigure. I think the face print is probably one of the best Mr. Freeze face prints we've ever gotten. My personal favorite Mr. Freeze was the one from the juniors line a few years back. That's the one I personally have sitting on my Batman shelf right now, but this one is definitely not bad. And the fact that you can pick up all 3 of these pretty decent minifigures in a $20 set for 200 pieces with that perfect 10 cents per piece ratio right there, it's pretty good. So next on the list, we've got set 76119, Batmobile Pursuit of the Joker. This set's going to be clocking in at 342 pieces. So let's take a look at that. 342 pieces, a really solid Batmobile build, and $30. I think that's great. I'd say this Batmobile is probably the most inspired off the 1989 Batmobile from the Tim Burton films. It definitely mixes a few elements of some other Batmobiles, possibly, but I'd say it definitely takes the most inspiration from that 1989 Batmobile. The Batmobile I have is the one from the Jokerland set, and I really like that one, but this one is definitely looking tempting to pick up, mainly because it just looks like a really solid build. Minifigures-wise, it's definitely a little weak, and I'd say playability-wise for the younger demographic, I'd say it's definitely on the weaker side. but it's a really solid Batmobile build, and probably my favorite part about it is it's got the Batman logo right there on the hubcaps. I think that's really cool. The Joker minifigure has a new torso print, and that's about it. He's got those green arms to represent that torso being kind of a vest, and he's got a stud shooter, which is nothing too special. But I think this Batmobile build is just absolutely phenomenal. I think it's probably one of the better Batmobiles we've ever gotten in Lego form, and it does justice to, like I said, that 1989 Batmobile. This is definitely something that we don't see too often because, you know, you usually see a really nice, like, good guy vehicle or a really nice bad guy vehicle, and then the opposing team or the good guy or the bad guy usually has some cruddy little vehicle just to take up part count, kind of like we saw in the Mr. Freeze set. There is no other vehicle in this set. It's just the Batmobile and the Joker figure, and that's something that is kind of few and far between in Lego sets nowadays. So I think this is definitely something set to keep your eye on to kind of see how it sells. Maybe if Lego's testing the market with a new formula for making these kinds of sets. So up next we've got our second Riddler set of the line. This is set 76120, Batman, Batwing, and the Riddler Heist, clocking in at 489 pieces and $50 US. So what do you get with this set? You get a Batwing, which we've gotten Batwings before. This one's definitely a little more compressed than we have seen some other Batwing models, but it does have a lot of like kind of really nice like sharp edges on it, and overall is a pretty solid build in my opinion. So I just recorded a voice line ripping on the fact that this has stud shooters, but I looked a little bit closer, and these are some brand new looking stud shooters over there on the side of the Batwing. I'm not exactly sure how they work, but they're definitely something new, and it looks like they're almost shooting like the one-by-one tile pieces, and they're a little more blocky than the typical stud shooters. So maybe this is something new, definitely something to keep your eye on. Maybe it has some sort of spring in there that's a little more spring-loaded. We'll have to wait and see. That's definitely something new right there. Well, let's look at what else you're getting with the set. You're going to be getting another helicopter, a Riddler helicopter. Nothing too special there. It kind of takes that typical build style that we've seen on a lot of helicopters before, where they put the truss piece at the back of just a circular dome at the front. It looks good. In my opinion, it matches the Riddler. This is the same Riddler minifigure from the Junior set that we looked at the first of the video, and I think it's a good comp to the Batman Batwing. It comes with a giant safe that the Riddler is heisting, obviously. Good playability there. I'm not sure if the safe can bust open or has any play features in that. But something that I think is probably one of the cooler parts of the set is this GCPD police car down here. It's kind of a build that we haven't really seen in cars before. It's really sloped on the back and really sleek. I think it's really cool. And on top of that GCPD vehicle, we're getting a brand new Commissioner Gordon minifigure, which looks really good. He's got some nice printing that runs down to his legs to represent like a trench coat. Looks really good. And on top of that, Lego has also decided to throw in a Shazam minifigure into this, which is cool. Most likely because we have that movie coming out here pretty soon, and just kind of boost the sales in this set. But it's definitely a welcome addition. Overall, this set's pretty solid in my opinion. For 50 bucks, not bad. Alright, so the big set of the line, this is the last set that I have to show you guys. This is set 76122. Batcave Clayface Invasion, clocking in at 1,037 pieces. Going to be getting 6 minifigures with this set: Two-Face, Catwoman, Batwoman, Robin, Bruce Wayne, and a Batman. So what all do you get with this? It's kind of got that typical Batcave build that we've seen in a lot of Batcave sets before, but it's got a few different things. So the whole central region looks a lot like the Batcave from the original DC Superheroes line, in my opinion, back in, I want to say, 2014. But you look off to the side, and it looks like you have some sort of like Batman Batsuit changing area. We don't have a lot of pictures of these just yet, so I'm kind of speculating on that, but that's what it would look like to me. And then on the bottom of that Bat computer, you've got some relics that are iconic to the Batcave. You look down there on the left, you've got the little dinosaur, obviously a little smaller than we've seen it in some previous movies, such as the Lego Batman movie. And it looks like you've got a little arsenal over there on the right side. The far left of the Batcave looks to be like a jail cell that you could put Catwoman or Two-Face in. But let's take a look at the minifigures before we get any deeper into this set. The Bruce Wayne minifigure is entirely new. The Robin minifigure is slightly different than the one we get in the other set, I think. It looks like it's got the regular red rather than the dark red torso and a different face print. Catwoman is entirely new, although she is using the same mold from the Lego Batman movie. Batman looks to have a new torso print. We have gotten that Batwoman minifigure before, if I am correct, and Two-Face is entirely new. So, you're also going to be getting Clayface with this, and in my opinion, this Clayface looks pretty good for the amount of pieces that they used on him. The Clayface from the Lego Batman movie is always going to be my favorite, but this one is definitely a different take on it. That printed dome piece for his head looks really cool, along with all the color contrast he's got going on with him. But overall, I think this set's pretty solid. It is, however, going to be clocking in at $100 US, which I think is not half bad for 1,038 pieces and 6 minifigures. Definitely a very solid deal on most of these sets in this line, which is surprising because it seems like a lot of these licensed sets recently have really jacked up the prices to the point where a lot of the community's kind of like, this is ridiculous. Why would we pay this money for the sets? Looking at you, Star Wars. But overall, I think these sets are phenomenal. I will definitely be picking up a few of them because I am a huge Batman fan, especially when it comes to the Lego Batman stuff. But other than that, I want to know what you guys think of these. Are these some of the best Batman sets ever, do you think? Because I think so. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I love seeing the conversation get started. If you haven't hit the subscribe button already, go ahead and hit that down below, and I'll keep you filled in on all the Lego leaks, reviews, and news as soon as they come out. But other than that, guys, I will see you in the next one.